This is Radical Honesty Project, Week 3. In the Heart Gym today, it became even more abundantly clear that radical honesty is a key for opening myself up and for creating a space where someone else can also open up. And there are a lot of factors at play in me and in whoever I may be with that stop this opening up, or that create the consequence of this opening up stopping. And what I've discovered so far, and I discovered this, I've been discovering this in Fear Club spaces, as well as Heart Gym and other possibility management game world spaces, is this unconscious fear. It's fear that I use unconsciously to close again. And for a long time, I've had this question: what comes first, the fear or a thought? And what I'm noticing more is that it's this state comes first, this kind of attitude, this habit of it's got a mental element and an emotional element and an energetic element and a physical element, and they all work together to kind of go like close around whatever there is to be honest about. And when I and the feelings, anger, sadness, fear, and joy all play a part. There are times when there's this energetic expansion where I feel joy about something, and then there's this kind of almost reflexive fear, and I close down around my joy. Like I block my joy from coming out of me and from continuing to grow in me. and I, the thought that comes is this can only be a trauma response. And I don't use that kind of language very often, and in this case, I use it as another way of saying, this is my box. These are my survival strategies that include thoughts, beliefs, assumptions, ideas, stories. And often in me, it goes something like, I start to feel joy, and then the attitude kind of goes whoop. And when I look at what happened, when I'm really honest about what happened, there's this voice that says, you can't let that be seen. You can't. So it's simpler. Don't think you're so great. This is a voice, and I feel glad to remember that I have a voice blaster, and I feel scared that this will come across as stupid or silly or don't think you're so great. Bang! this worked. Honestly, I am arrogant. And I don't think I don't have a problem with this. I I do, and I'm working on this. I have a problem with people who have a problem with a woman being arrogant in the way that I am arrogant. And I'm pissed that I've let people's judgment of, you're so selfish, you think you're so great, oh my God, that's so arrogant, tighten me, and I've let that move happen out of fear of what other people think. Fear of that when other people think I'm arrogant, they'll try to wipe me out, or they'll start rumors about me, or they'll, yeah, send someone after me. I've done many processes about this. And though I anticipate that I will slide back again and again, I am I'm taking a stand. Yeah, I want to take a stand, and I want to not want to. I just want to do it. I want to take a stand for arrogant, alive, huge-hearted women who have it in our bones, in our cells, in our protons and electrons, the way they are, the way a woman is. When a woman has got clear of certain levels of revenge against men, revenge against modern culture, revenge against women, revenge against parents, when there's this certain level of work that's been done to be okay with my parents, with the culture I was born into, with men, with other women, what is left is something like this burning, winning happening, this purpose for the game to change, the game of winning and losing to change, the game of win-win to change. Because in the game of win-win in modern culture, it's contaminated with compromise, and with whoever can get the upper hand to win will take advantage of that against the person who doesn't dare. And another game is possible, a game of winning happening, where the space is a winning happening space. The relational space, the context is possibility. There are possibilities that are invisible, and we're committed to finding them. We're committed to creating them. We're committed to killing what gets in the way of winning happening. And this is what I am arrogant at. This is what's arrogant in me. And when I'm honest, what gets in the way of it, what else gets in the way of it for me, is that from these fears, there's certain fears that are still part of my box. A fear of really slowing down, because then I won't do enough. A fear of, yeah, making time unfold. Wow, this is so much the fear that has been getting in the way of my commitment to the Radical Honesty Project, is this fear of being so radically honest that I would offend people, that I would turn people off. And when I'm honest, I have it in me to admit that I'm okay with turning people off, and I'm okay with losing people when they're people who have not made a commitment to their own, to feeling. And I feel scared because I think of someone in my life who I think of that way. And I realize that this is bullshit, that I'm still committed to staying near people who are committed, who are not committed to feeling, who are committed to thinking. I hate this about myself, and I love it about myself. And maybe this is the crux of the arrogant woman who is a stand for winning happening. You know, there's this saying, don't try to change someone else. And I go back and forth, being okay with wanting to change someone else, being okay with not wanting to change them, thinking that there's one or the other is good or bad or right or wrong. And yeah, I will not choose. I will not judge. I have this clarity that wanting someone to change so that they can be more alive, more on purpose, more clear with themselves, where their heart can become more and more open, and they can become more and more free to, where they have more and more access to possibility, that this does not make me wrong, that I want that for people, that it makes me an experimenter. And I am, there's room for me to become more arrogant about my experimenting. Yeah, it's as if there are these remnants of energetic, mimetic, emotional, made of thoughts, emotions, feelings, and energetic structure. Yeah, it's like this really robust but weakening, like plasticky, rubbery membrane that's been built into my box, that's becoming more obvious to me, that it is still limiting me from just doing it. just doing, just going with the impulses I have, and being open to and ready for the universe to bounce feedback back to me that might hurt, that might sting, that might land as hard in me, and to say thank you, to be grateful, to be like, perfect, this is awesome, this is what I want, is clear feedback. And to get that it's circumstantial. Feedback is bullshit. Some of the bullshit is valuable, precious bullshit, and some of it is bullshit and not useful. I got a message today from a woman who is based in the United States asking if I am still doing this radical honesty project. I said yes and invited her to join the Telegram group. And something relaxed in me. Finally, somebody else is wanting to commit to radical honesty, to learning, to practicing radical honesty. And I also feel glad to notice that whether they join or they don't, whether anybody ever joins, or whether the whole world joins, I am committed to this. There are radical honesty experiments that I'm scared to do. And the one that comes to mind most strongly is to let a person know what I'm resenting about them, what I'm resenting them for. And the scariest person for me to do this with would be my mom. And I commit to experimenting with being so radically honest with her that I have resentments about her, that I want her to know what they are so that I can get over them. And will she do this with me? And what does she need from me so that she can do this with me? Fuck, I better write that down before I forget what I said. Oh, it's recorded. I can find it again. I will go like this so that I know in the recording that I just said it. Oh, yeah. Again, this fear of how arrogance will be, what arrogance will be met with. And I flash on remembering yesterday, I went to the chiropractor and somehow became super centered in all my bodies and walked around for a little while in this archetypal state, this arrogant state. And people nodded to me and noticed me, and I can't quite remember how it went, that I noticed at some point that it was no longer in that state, and I tried to get it back while I was still walking around, and I didn't quite get there. And I didn't get there because I wasn't so honest with myself as I got there, maybe I'm thinking this might be it. This might be that I was skipping steps. And yeah, I'm making this connection right now between radical honesty and skipping steps. And this part that lets things slide, that's like, okay, no, I'm not gonna see to that. I'm not gonna look at that. I'm not gonna notice it. I'm not gonna be honest about it. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna do it. There's this, yeah, energetically for me, it really kind of goes out this way. And there's this part of me that feeds on that then, yeah, that then, and it keeps my box. It keeps this barrier up, this plasticky kind of, it's as if it used to be a part of my box, and now my box is expanded, but this is left behind and I can really see it. It's like, wow, I let things slide. I am not, when I'm missing the honesty with myself, these things can just, it's like there's a hole here. Whoa. I'm unclear about what a next step would be about that discovery of that energetic structure, the whole, and I get that I could, yeah, a possibility is to ask for an emotional healing process space to repair that somehow. Yeah, I'm committed to growing up into, yeah, so that it, rather than it being a state that comes and goes, it could be more a stage of my life, and it growing up into authentic adulthood as a doorway to then more and more archetypal adulthood, getting that I'll be taking steps forward and sliding back, but less so when I use radical honesty consistently, more and more consistently, as a tool, and catch that I'm letting things slide. What am I letting slide right now? Attention to the time. I have a person coming to visit at the top of the hour. I have a lot of messages I haven't seen to. I have a rage club to organize with women online. This starts the first week of July, and then starting the third week of July, an in-person rage club. I'm committed to starting an in-person rage club and a fear club. Wow. There's been something in the way of me saying that I will be offering a fear club for women starting the second week of July, the third week of July. I used radical honesty in more communications today. Being honest about my doubts, being honest about information, being honest about what I was really thinking, and also about what I was thinking. It can be so much happening at once. And yes, this is my ongoing experiment. I don't think I've been documenting very much This is something I have not been slowing down to do. And what I'm missing are teammates, the accountability teammates, not so much to my commitment, but to my communications. Wow. Yeah, I'm committed to the Radical Honesty Project, and how much I communicate about it between these calls. I'm radically relying on teammates that I was going to say that I don't yet have, and then I remembered there is still one person in the group. I don't know if they're reading things or watching or even using Telegram. And there's this way that I've been resenting that person for not showing up, for not communicating. And I've been letting slide that I could communicate with them, that I could communicate with them in another medium. I could check in with them. Yeah, there it is. I commit to checking in with them. And I will close this space now, and I will take action on the commitments I've made to check in with the teammate who doesn't seem to be there, to rewatch the video and get clear about what my proposal to my mother is about having a radical honesty space with her, and continue to be more radically honest and catch this letting things slide thing, and also asking for an EHP about really getting space to take care of that energetic structure I discovered. Thank you for watching. To people out in the world who aren't watching now, who may watch one day in the future, I want to meet you. I want to meet you. If you've watched this half an hour of just me, half an hour of me coming from the purposes of this project, then I want to meet you. I want more people in my life who are practicing being radically honest, and even who are interested in practicing being radically honest, who maybe aren't practicing it yet. I hope you will reach out. Goodbye for now.